Hey, Change Cultivators listeners, Patrick Fitzmaurice, your host. A great conversation here with Ali Tara. Ali has an amazing career. She's moved from finance to creativity. She's leaning into a company called Maze Kids now, where she really wanted to kind of tackle the issue of how do we want to raise the next generation and what do we want to teach them? And, you know, with the coming trends of AI and things that might eliminate job loss, how do you start early and tackle that problem as a change leader and build a team and an organization and a platform around it? So really powerful story about how Ali's personal journey has gotten her to where she is today, the decisions that she's made, the teams that she's led, and the lessons that she's learned about change leadership. So listen, enjoy Ali Tara. Ali, good day to you. How are you today?
Awesome. Thank you, Patrick. How are you?
I am great. This whole project that we have at Change Cultivators around recognizing the 40 under 40 global change leaders, of which we are delighted to have you as one. They are such cool conversations. And so I love having them, and I'm super excited about this one.
I'm equally excited, if not more, Patrick. I think it's an amazing opportunity for me to share some of my experience and insights, potentially that could help some other people.
Awesome. And, you know, in our prep call, there was a number of things that I kind of grabbed that I think might be most insightful for our audience. So I'm just going to jump into those. One of the things that struck me in our conversation is this notion of implement, right? When you have an idea, go implement it. Like so many change leaders get hung up in thinking too much and kind of conceptualizing. What does that mean to you when you say, look, a change leader needs to not get hung up, but just go implement the idea, have an idea implemented? Give us some context to that.
Very good question. And I think that's really to do with a lot of startups and businesses across the globe. You know, that currently, for example, 95% of startups fail. And according to CBS Inside Stats, half of them fail because the product or service was wrong. But the other half, actually more than a half, fails because of the implementation. So when people get this grand idea, you know, about I'll go and I'll change the world, they forget that having an idea is only a little percentage that will lead you to success. It's actually all about these nitty-gritties and the long and complicated journey, you know, that you need to structure everything on your way, how to implement it, find the right people, find the right processes, messaging, and everything else. So I think, in my opinion and in all my experience, implementation was actually when everyone almost failed or felt really uncomfortable. And with generating ideas, everybody felt usually awesome.
Right. The hard work happens at implementing an idea.
Exactly. And that in being strong to get the idea to the end, because, you know, in the beginning, everybody is excited, full of energy. And the more you get along the road, the more you really need this inner strength and belief in yourself and your ability to implement and your knowledge of people and choosing the right people to help you implement it, because no one can do it on their own. It must be a team of people who are sharing this idea and who believe in it equally strongly in order to bring this to the end, to park it, and to achieve something meaningful.
If you had to boil it down to like one or two bullet points of if you're going to be a good implementer of an idea as a change leader, make sure you do this and this. Can you crystallize it that tightly?
Find the right team of people who share your idea and your beliefs, and be strong not to turn away, turn around halfway, midway, just keep going. And in the end, you will be rewarded.
Oh, so good. Now, riff on how that's manifesting itself in your current company, right? So tell the listeners real quick about what you're currently focused on and how those lessons are really serving you well as you think about it. So what do you do, Ali?
Oh, Patrick, I do many things, and one amazing and most meaningful and important thing among the things that I'm doing is Maze Kids. Maze Kids is really a place which was created 2 years ago to spark up curiosity and imagination in kids, building emotional intelligence, confidence, and life skills through music, performing arts, and preparing children for the future. And this word is really overused lately. Future ready leaders. We are kind of not preparing them for the future. We are preparing them for right now. So they're successful right now, and they build up on their success, and they lead forward, and they enter the world of today with the skill set that will make them successful. And what we do it through the thing kids love the most. They love cartoons. Well, maybe after ice cream, really. They love cartoons, music, and performing in front of others, singing, dancing. So these are the tools that we use to prepare children and to equip them with the right set of life skills to be flexible and confident and imaginative and creative, not to be scared of things that can come their way, because we all know that AI is coming, and a lot of the jobs will be replaced. Some people are saying it's 40%, 50, 60, God knows how many jobs will be replaced. So we need to be ready for anything, and we need to really make sure imagination and creativity are there in our kids to help them get through this journey of their life equipped for for the future.
How did you land on that as like the passion space that you wanted to tackle, right? What connected you to that? And then again, it's a cool idea, but how are you grappling with the implementation of that? Because I think there's some nuggets there that are really intriguing.
Why am I interested in this idea, or how did I become interested in it? Really happened as with every one of us. Something happens in the childhood that you love doing, that you're passionate about. Then most of us forget about it somewhere along the way because others tell them that certain things are important, or they bring you money, or there is something like that. There are cool things to do, like being I don't know, a lawyer or a banker in my case. That's what society led me to, and that's what I have successfully become. And I served many, many years as a banker, investment banker, then gradually evolved into corporate world in CFO and COO roles. And I think somewhere along somewhere along this journey, I really forgot that life is too short, and I know everybody says it, but all of us forget that this is not about the pursuit of happiness, so to say. It's the happiness of the pursuit in the long journey of life, because where do we get in the end? We get somewhere and then we leave. So what do we leave this planet with? We need to leave it with something we actually believe in, what can potentially make a change for others who will still be here. And these are our children. This is my passion. This is what I think we need to put all our efforts, whatever you can be doing, like you're creating podcasts, and someone else is, I don't know, a marketing expert, someone has their own business, but the big side of their life is usually children. And with our children, we can start making these changes, to make sure that the world, when we leave it, when we go away, it's actually left with amazing, creative, capable people that can keep running this planet so that it doesn't disappear. It is still, running forward and forward. And I'm not sure if I answered your question. I think I took our conversation a little bit off the road.
Even better, because my question wasn't that good, and your answer was way better. I want to use what you said, though, to poke on something else, right? So you just made change leadership sound like, so let me ask it another way. Our listeners may be listening and saying, well, if for me to be a change leader, I have to find one of these like earth-changing things to lean into, right? Like there's a higher purpose to what I need to do. And you said to me when we were prepping for this comment, that change leadership doesn't have to be about something grand, right? And I think that's a barrier sometimes, saying, well, if I'm going to be a change leader, I better do something substantial. But you kind of have a different take on that.
Yeah, so I think a lot of things in our life are much simpler when you look at them closely, not from a perspective as you are taught to, but if you really look deep down in yourself, you look around and you think, we're all talking about change, these grand things, these big corporations, this amazing future, huge results that we're going to get to. But if you look around, there is your community, there is your family, there is, this little organization like that's collecting plastic from the street outside. There is this little, I don't know, animal shelter around you. There are your children that are there. And the change project where you can be a leader can start from this, kind of grassroots local level, and they will be just as meaningful, if not more meaningful, because, in these big corporations and big companies, there are always these amazing leaders and managers who are taught in the best business schools. They are hired exactly for this purpose. They have all these amazing advisors that are prepping them and holding their hand, leading them to the right result. But in your family, for example, as a mom, there is no advisor who will hold your hand and lead you to becoming an amazing, family organizer. You need to kind of pull yourself together, even when you can't, and you need to understand, okay, what's the right decision right now that I need to make to change it for my family. I don't know, my child has this problem. I need a result, which is a change in their behavior, in their way of life. How do I implement it? How do I do this? What are the steps? What is the adoption curve and stuff like this? But nobody teaches people how to do that. So I think the biggest thing in everybody else's takeout, maybe from whoever is listening, I would really recommend looking around your own life and finding this amazing and meaningful change projects that you can implement right now, starting from today.
Yes. So, I mean, it makes it so simple to find an issue to talk about. We've talked to a couple of other people and they said, look, find a problem to solve and figure out how you're going to solve it and do the work of implementing solutions around it. And it sounds very consistent with what you're saying.
Well, I'm happy it sounds consistent. I'm happy there are more people sharing my views. But I don't think there is enough of understanding, general understanding in people. I think still change leadership and change management is not associated in people's minds with their own life, with their kind of daily life. It's associated with big stuff. And yes, big stuff is important, but it's not more important than the stuff around you happening right now.
Well, and your personal story is kind of an example of what you just said, right? How does somebody go from super success in a financial world to jumping into a creative endeavor? Which I think when we talked, you said, that was really about you being true to yourself. So tell our listeners a little bit about your personal journey and what they can learn from that, not getting stuck in a rut on something that maybe the world has told them they should go focus on, but it's not true to their identity and their self.
Well, it started long ago. I directed and scripted a play at school, and there I realized, okay, that's something that makes me super excited. Creating music, scripting stuff is very interesting, and it plays some string in my soul. Then when I was going and growing, I was made believe by my friends and family that banking is an incredible place to be. Financial world brings you money, and then probably like studying and learning was always easy for me. So I don't know, graduated from the best business schools in Europe, found an awesome job. And then some years down the line, I realized that it sucked me in completely. Yes, it does provide for my family. It gives me financial independence, and yes, I earn. And I was so totally satisfied with this side of things. But then at the end of the day, when you get a little bit of free time, which you don't get much of or none at all, I was thinking, but what am I doing for myself? It's going to be another 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line. I won't have done anything that my true aspiration was searching for in this life. What am I showing for to my children? Like, who am I? What am I pursuing? So I think it's very important, whatever you are doing in your life, it's very important to understand why exactly you are doing it. And if there is a way to include somehow your true passion in your daily routines or activities, you definitely should do so. In my case, I'm very lucky. I managed to completely put aside financial work right now. This is the first year I'm putting it aside 100%, so you can congratulate me. And I'm and I'm pursuing much more creative stuff, songwriting, leading Maze Kids, and doing amazing projects with companies all over the globe. So I think it's a big achievement on my side. It's much less financially rewarding, mind you,
Right.
but I feel happy, I think, 1 million times more.
There's such a lesson there about, what I'm listening, what I'm picking up on a lot of these conversations I'm having with 40 under 40 change leaders is there's a thoughtfulness, right? There's just a reflective, I don't want to use the word introspection, but I think it is appropriate, but there's just a thoughtfulness of pausing and not just doing and really being overt about thinking through what you should be spending your time on. And I think that might be a characteristic of change leaders that I haven't really acknowledged before.
In my opinion, I think that we should never lose time, and it's a wisdom of life when it comes to you. And you're right. It's like retrospective thinking. We will never regret things we've done, but we will regret things we haven't done. I mean, everybody has heard it at least once in their life, if not more times. So I decided that if I don't try pursuing my heart, I will definitely regret it. And I don't want to be, I don't know, a 90-year-old, old lady dying in her bed thinking, oh my God, I could have written these songs and I could have made kids' lives better.
It's so good. It's so good. Well, Ellie, thank you. Thank you for taking some time with us on the podcast, of sharing your nuggets of wisdom of leadership and change leadership and things to be learned from your personal journey. Congrats for being one of our 40 under 40 change leaders. And we're just tickled that you took some time to chat with us and our listeners. So thank you for that.
Thank you for inviting me, Patrick. Such an honor to be included in your amazing series, 40 under 40. Thank you, and glad I could share my insights, and maybe it will help someone, hopefully.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.